Hello and welcome to Galaxies in Peril, episode 3, I think, yeah, or 3 plus 0. We'll say it's 3. I'm your GM, Mark, and these are our players. um, we are missing one and up one from last time. So I think what I'd like to do, we are at the start of a mission right now. I think I'd like to actually get Nighthawk's downtime in if you're if that's something you're interested in doing.
So session before last, I'd
Mhm.
done one piece of downtime, and I think that was to recover resilience. And
That was just like training montage.
mhm. And my second downtime, it was. I don't remember what it was because it was 2 sessions ago. But um, for the other downtime, I can just train.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
keep it easy. Yeah.
sweet. So I think we'll say that Devil Wolf did not come to the subway station with y'all. Instead, you brought Nighthawk. So the situation, our current mission is to find Gavin Grant, the ex-professional wrestler turned supervillain turned construction worker who has gone missing. He was at work through the Idea Hive program, and we lost track of him, or they lost track of him. So there was a little bit of investigating, found some clues, went to his apartment, and followed the trail to the tunnels. Specifically, I found the actual station. It's the as a 18th station, 18th Street station that is decommissioned. It's right in your neighborhood, and it is an actual thing that you can go and graffiti and hang out in. So that's fun. So yeah, the engagement roll went okay. It was partial. So we started off with you all getting down there, however you get down there, which is not difficult. And the first obstacle you came across was there were a bunch of people hanging out at the subway station. The station is we were saying it's got like the Spider Verse kind of graffiti all over it, and there's some folks partying there. And I had that written down. Where was it? Mm, Oh yeah, cool. So yeah, there's I don't know, a half dozen early 20s, late teens, tough guys hanging out there. Um, just like it's evening. They're downstairs partying is all, making a lot of noise. They don't care if anyone hears them. Um, it feels like this is kind of probably like part of their turf or regular hangout or something. But you're probably going to have to get around them one way or the other to continue your journey into the depths of the earth. What would you like to do?
So if you don't mind, narratively, I think my training for my downtime was I was off investigating something. And whenever I heard from the rest of the team, I swapped places with Rain, right? So
Yes.
Rain went off to do some kind of investigation, and I came in to help with this. Um, and I'm going to sneak down and do reconnaissance, because I'm sneaky, and let everyone know kind of what's going on. I think, and whenever I come back to report, I'll tell remakes so you can change and look grubby enough, I think, to fit in, and maybe they won't notice you.
Mm.
But I'm not sure Sava Svava will be able to just walk on by.
I mean, my instinct is to just tell them to step aside and just walk through. But
All these approaches are valid.
I bet I could get them to scatter. I bet I could drop down a something that looks like a siren and all that kind of stuff. Or shit, I could just take a radio and tune it into the cop channel, and once they hear it's cops, they might scatter. If we don't want to be seen going in.
This seems like a really cool hangout. Maybe they would party with us. I mean, yes, we do need to go on and not just party, but still, maybe they're friends. They could be our friends. I
Well,
know
it's
you
always
don't, you don't
it's
like
always good to
party
make
friends.
allies. It's
Oh,
always good to make allies, but in this case, we need to keep our eyes on the prize.
you're not wrong. So, I think Darrow will look in and peer at them a few times and try to shift into, as Nighthawk said, grubby enough looking partier. And
Cool.
yeah,
And that is one of your simple powers. So
it is.
you do it. Cool. So yeah, there's a half dozen of them. There's one who is clearly kind of alphaing a little bit. They're drinking. They've got some music playing. A couple of them are like daring each other to jump down on the tracks. One of them's kind of like pushing the other ones around. Just being jerks. How would you like to approach them? Oh, are you specifically taking one of their places, or are you trying to be like someone like them?
Well, Nighthawk said like them, so Narrow takes that direction, thinking Nighthawk is better at strategy. So that's what she's doing. They're
Cool.
just a regular schlubby person and not trying to replace anybody. And the approach is to just, kind of walk on by like, hey, yeah, let's go.
No, are you being just like you said, a regular slutty person? Or are you trying to look like you're part of the gang?
Regular schlubby person.
Okay,
Because
cool.
if I look like I'm trying to be part of the gang, they may not recognize me, try to pull me into things, and then it
Yeah.
would be difficult to extricate myself.
Cool. Yeah, you can jump up on the platform because you have to like come in another service tunnel and walk down the decommissioned tracks to get there. So you can either go on the tracks or jump up on the platform with them, whichever you prefer.
So mechanically, are we doing this as a group action, or are we?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, we could if you want to. I was thinking just doing a mingle, maybe, if that sounded what you're looking for, but it's your call.
No, I was just wondering if are we like each going our own different way, or are we going as a group, or are we like helping each other from a distance?
So,
What's
Svava,
this?
what is your plan? I think I can sneak by them and they won't see me, and I think that Remix can blend in with them. What do you think you can do?
I think Svava she has like a hoodie on, so well I can walk by them and they can't stop me. So
Okay,
That's
sounds
the worst sneak attitude I've ever heard, but okay.
I will try to sneak, but if they try to stop me, I
Group action.
Gonna be a bad time. Who would like to lead the group action?
I think
feels like Nighthawk maybe, or Remix. Do you want to take point?
Well, Nighthawk was definitely calling the shots, but I'm happy to lead it if need be. Doesn't matter to me.
Why don't you lead it?
Got it.
Cool.
With it being sneaking, it doesn't feel like a mingle now. It feels like a prowl.
Yeah, if you're trying to avoid being seen at all. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is where, in my mind, group actions kind of break down because each of us kind of want to do a different thing.
That's true. It's true.
So,
we can not group action this and each do something separate. That is narratively what it sounds like we're doing.
Yeah. Let's do that.
I am trying to sneak past them. I'm just not very good at it, and if I fail, it doesn't bother me that much. So yeah. I mean, for me, prowl is fine. I'm just terrible at, but I'm not good at anything else either, other than like command to tell them just to let me pass.
So. Just so we're clear, Remix also has no skill in prowling.
So I would suggest this not be a group action, and then we all go our separate ways. And if shit goes down, then we'll we'll go to plan B.
Works for me.
Cool. Yeah. So the just to clarify what things look like, it's subway tracks with a platform on either side, not as high as platforms are these days, probably. So it's easier to kind of step on and off, with some disused areas and like gates closed off to the blocked off stairs that go up. So basically, you're trying to go. There's probably an entrance in the station somewhere that leads to the tunnels that you're looking for. So you probably have to get past the station that's somehow to do that. Does that make sense?
And so I think Nighthawk is going to stick to the shadows and be up above, like where the girders are, walking above them. And
Nice.
he's going to be back up to the other two. So if something goes down and they get hassled, he'll
swoop
provide
in
assistance. Yeah.
Like a bat.
Oh
Yes.
God, yes.
A hawk.
In that, I think Svava will. I think I'll just like walk past on the tracks and kind of hope they just don't notice me or ignore me because I'm going there with a hood up, and they just think I'm a homeless person or something.
Want to check in with safety. Do we feel that catcalling falls under sexual assault?
I don't.
Okay. Stephen, did you have a...
No, I'm fine with that.
You're good? Okay. Yeah, I think even in a hoodie, it's clear that you're a tall, statuesque, and presumably attractive woman. And it takes them a while. They get, like, when they see you coming down the tracks, they're like, at first it's who's that? And then it's like, oh, who's that? And so there's a bit of a tension just from you being there.
Yeah. Then I think I'll just turn to them and say, look, I don't want any trouble. I'm just passing through, and just making clear that I have no time for their bullshit, but I'm not interested in getting into a fight either.
Yeah, the what looks like the leader, kind of tall, kind of muscly guy, probably 20, 22, dark hair, dark eyes, sort of like does the like drop down off the platform, and this is like he's got a thick Scottish accent, which I will not do. And he's like, "Oh, we're having a good time here. What is there to do down here besides have a good time? Come on, join us."
Maybe on the way back. I've got business.
Way back from what? Where are you going? You got any kind of business down here? You should probably go through us.
Well, and this is when she loses her patience. I noticed I'm still hungover from before, so
yeah, you are.
I think she like puts her hand on his chest and pushes just enough that he can feel that she's really strong. And yeah, I can go through you, or I can go through you. It's your choice.
Ooh, I think I would like a roll for this.
Yeah.
What do you feel like it is?
I'm going for command.
Yeah,
it's like intimidation and
yeah. I'm gonna say this is not risky. Whatever the next level back
controlled is or is it desperate?
Oh, I think it's controlled and standard effect.
Cool. I have, if my hangover matters, then I have reduced effect, but maybe not.
I think that would come into play. If there is reduced effect from that, it would be a lack of control, probably.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm just rolling my dice, and that's 2 2s. I don't know if there's a special name for that. It's snake eyes.
Double snake eyes.
Snake eyes.
snake eyes.
Sore eyes.
I rolled nerves. It's 4 eyes.
Cool. So so we're in control.
Yeah,
And
right. I can withdraw and
you can
no,
withdraw.
sorry.
And I think what happens is what you push him back and he kind of like stumbles back, so his back is up against where the platform is. And he just reaches back and pulls out a pistol and he holds it by his side and he says, "Oh, lassie, I don't think you should do that." Maybe you don't know who you're dealing with.
I'm going to try again with risky because I think that's better than any other approach I might try. That, but I think what I do is I look down at the gun and then I just look him straight in the face, not like going for it or anything. Just and now I'm lowering my voice so that the others hopefully can't hear. If you try that, you're going to have a very, very bad day. And I can understand if you don't want to lose face in front of your crew up there, but either let me pass or you're not going to be able to use that anyway.
I think he like looks back at the guys and just laughs and brings the pistol up, not sideways, normal ways.
Okay,
yeah, let's try
I
that
just
next.
have to punch him in the face. Then.
Oh, okay, great.
Are you punching him in the face? Is this getting violent?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm gonna assist you as I swoop down and distract him.
Cool.
Nice. How are you doing that?
I'm jumping down from the rafters to get behind him.
Nice. Cool. That sounds like
skirmish, probably.
Skirmish to me, yeah. So it's 1 die plus the help. This is standard risky. Do you want to push or take a devil's bargain?
I'll roll with 2 dice.
Okay.
How bad can it be?
Yeah, how can it be? Perf.
Double 5s.
All right.
5.
So you do it with a consequence. Harm, complication, reduced effect. This position comes desperate. I think yeah. So Nighthawk drops down behind him as this is happening. And he's like spins a little bit to catch him, and fires his gun at Nighthawk. Doesn't hit him, but when he does that, the other guys are like, "Oh shit, this is a fight!" Okay, and like a couple of them grab like they got a crowbar and a baseball bat, switchblade, and they're like, "Okay, cool, this is a fight now. Let's do this." But he's like, but he wants you to continue on. Yeah, so he's like, "Guys, this is," and like looks at you, looks at Nighthawk, and he's like, "We'll get to you later. Let's go." And the guys are like jumping for a fight. I think the actual consequence is going to take some heat. The gang looks at who you are. Would you like to resist that?
Yeah, I think I want to resist. I think I try to, like, when he turns, I grab the gun and just
yeah.
Awesome. So that's probably how it's like. I'm rolling 2 dice. That's a 6. So
Ooh, no, yeah, cool. Sweet. So yeah, you grab the gun, and he's like, "We're out of here, guys. They're not worth it." And they go back the way that you came, I think.
And mechanically, let me make sure. Heat is a resource that you can use as GM, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
by um negating that consequence, you no longer have that heat. Is that right?
right. Yeah.
Okay. Weird. Okay.
Yeah. So at the end of a mission, basically I will create some clocks based on what happens. And then if I have heat, I will put that heat into those clocks.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Scare them off. Awesome. Yeah. So they walk by Narrow, and I think they're like they make the connection. Maybe one of them like gives you a shoulder, but yeah, they don't give you any more trouble.
Nice.
Sweet. There is an entrance here. I think one of the grates that goes up to one of the stairs is loose. So you pull that, and there's like a ventilation duct that is clearly like there's scuff marks around it and signs of traffic. It's clearly like you have to like squeeze through the gate and go through the duct to get to where whatever else is down here. Tell me what you're thinking.
So for now, I'll take point, and I'll do reconnaissance, and then come back and report what I see. And I'm not going to get too far from them. So within earshot. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So this leads into some like ducting that eventually doesn't take too long to like clearly the duct has been neatly torn, like not torn, but like bent back. And there are like tunnels that you can get into. They look like they're just dug out of the earth/rock underneath the city. And they go in both directions. And it is dark.
Do we see anything on, like tracks or tracks all around?
Yeah, I think there's tracks all around. It's not no one is hiding the fact that they are coming in and out of here.
Right, but there's not a specific direction to go. Like they all went to the right, or
oh no, it's just like
they're all
both ways. Yeah.
In that case, I think I will pull out like a little drone,
and
I'm going to send that little drone down.
Nice.
It's on real quiet fans, but it does make some noise.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't have any lights on it, but has like a little bit of night vision, so we don't have to have a big flashlight, saying we're over here.
Yeah. Cool. This is going to be a roll standard risky, I think. Risky standard. And you want to find just like get some information about what's down these tunnels.
Yeah.
Cool. What would you like to roll with?
Okay, so I believe that is a simple power for me, and I have built generic gadgets.
Yeah.
And in question marks, I have like, do I have a certain number of uses of generic gadgets? Like, I'm not carrying like a big giant fanny pack. Right.
I think it's basically like your Batman utility belt.
Exactly.
So like you got like a mini drone or whatever you need to pull out hammer space.
Exactly right. I just wasn't sure if we wanted to put a number of uses on it, like something else. But okay, so
yeah, like you're not going to pull a motorcycle out of your belt, but it's
that's exactly right. Yeah. Or after I pulled out this fifth or sixth thing, you're like, no, I don't. I think that's too much. Okay, so I don't think that costs anything because one of my mastered events is built generic gadgets. And I think this is going to be a survey. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's during a fight. I'm going to. Do you have a devil's bargain?
Let's see. So, is your success case finding the thing or finding the thing undetected?
I think it's finding the thing.
Okay. I think my starting devil's bargain is whether you find something or not, something notices that you have sent a drone down there. Anyone else have a fun devil's bargain?
I don't have anything. No.
I mean, it could be that the that the environment down here isn't very good for the drone, so you can't use it again until we've gone back up.
This is a little bit out of left field, so feel free to say no. But the drones discover that there's another less experienced team that is also trying to do the same thing we are doing.
Okay, so I was going to say no to the devil's bargain, but I really like, not necessarily less experienced, but I like that there's another team.
Yeah.
There's another group after them.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah, I'll take that. That sounds awesome.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that'll work out. Fantastic.
Okay. So I'm going to roll 2 dice.
2 dice.
And I got double 5s.
All right. So we have success with consequences. Yeah, so I think the effect is not reduced. So I think what you find, so the tunnels twist and branch a little bit. They're not like super like lost in a maze of twisty passages or anything, but they are extensive. They all seem to kind of they're smallish like little chambers dug out that clearly like maybe someone was hiding out here. Someone was holed up here for a while. This is where they would keep some stuff or whatever. But they tend to converge in a couple largish areas that look like they lead to the basement of a building that has also been kind of sealed or blocked off, not sealed. Mm-hmm. And when you the drone kind of comes out into one of these spaces, and it is quiet and dark, that like kind of like does the night vision survey. And so this is a one of the larger kind of like basement-y areas. There's movement in one of the far walls, and there's a head that kind of like you see eyes kind of like doing the cat eye thing in the night vision, that like is like trying to pinpoint the noise. I don't know if they did actually pinpoint the noise, but they know that something is after them. Looks kind of small, so not it's definitely not a wrestler or worse, and it just ducks out the next passage. And
so child size head or like rat size head?
Between child and small person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not big dude sized. And so where are you piloting the drone from?
Yeah, so I think we stepped into this, area where that T is, and we don't have any idea where to go.
Yeah.
And I kind of pull up like
and this area is kind of cramped. It's like 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
Ish. So
and I kind of pull up an area, and we're watching. I think on screen we see like a red layout of what the night vision is, and as the drone goes along, it basically maps, and we've got like a little map of where the different areas and the little crannies that you described, so that all 3 of us can see that, but it's red so it doesn't blow our night vision.
Yeah.
And that's where we see the face pop up, and then
probably like drops a little pin there too. It's like, oh, movement here.
Yep.
And let's say that was to the left. So are the rest of you in the little tunnel with Nighthawk?
Does Nighthawk have some kind of like goggles? How does he have a forearm display? How's he seeing what the drones see? I'm really curious what that looks like.
Yeah, so I do have goggles, but I think in this case I've reached out and there's like a little projector that's projecting this above my hand, so that the rest of you can see it as well.
Awesome. So Freemakes is like leaning over your shoulder and watching this. Like it's like cool. If she had popcorn would be eaten.
Nice.
Cool. I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start a little race clock for y'all.
Yeah.
They're both gonna be 4 custodians, and I'm gonna take one off of the opponent's clock, and so you've got this mapped. You see, okay, we've got motion down here. Got a pretty good layout of the tunnels down that way. Right about the same time, you get the ping of the person or smaller being, whatever it is, from the tunnel to the right, the tunnel that's you did not go down. It's not close, but you do hear a low, like croaking growl.
And it's close.
It's not like super close, which is maybe even a little bit more scary because it's loud enough to be heard from some distance. And it seems to be like you get the kind of like effect because it's moving.
Yeah, but it seems to be closer than the other movement that we saw, which was a
Yes.
good distance down to the left.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to tell them, we're not alone. Let's take care of the close by thing first.
Everyone hears it. Everyone hears it.
Let's go after the closer of the two, and I think I wink off the little display, and you see my my night vision comes on in my goggles, and I head that direction. So I'm going to slink down towards that noise.
Nice. What about Sfava and Naro? Any reactions to that?
Where did Nighthawk go? Yes, I imagine that Remix lost sight of Nighthawk in moments, mere moments. Yeah, that's not good. So Remix will prepare themselves for some kind of attack.
Just to make sure I don't leave them in the dark, I think I put a flashlight that shines like a red light into Svava's hands.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. I think I'm going to ask for a group action here. This is another kind of branching tunnel system, about as complex as the other one, and I'd like to see the navigation, because you're more exploring this on foot rather than through a drone. So I think I'd like to see a group action, what it looks like as you make it through the tunnel. I think the goal is to reach a point of interest without attracting the attention of whatever made that noise.
Okay. If you guys don't mind, I think I'll lead that. Okay. And I think that'll probably be a survey.
Sure. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's fine. You observe the situation, anticipate outcomes. So you're carefully moving through the tunnels, going in the opposite direction of whatever threatening stuff you find.
Okay, awesome. So I'll roll my 1d6. I got a 4.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what's the action on this? I apologize.
This is survey, you said?
It's survey.
Yeah.
I also got a 4.
I got a 6.
Hey, a 6. Great. Cool. No, it's not. What is it? It's resilience. No resilience taken. And we do it. Yeah. So I think the way it looks is it's hard to tell where the sort of growly, croaky noise is coming from, just because the tunnels kind of loop back on each other. So it's hard to gauge. But eventually, you get the impression that it may have gone to where you were, so it's not following you here. And give you a check on your clock there. And I think yeah, you eventually it takes some time, like maybe 20-ish minutes to sort of navigate your way safely through this area, and eventually it comes out to it's subway tunnel sized, but it's not a subway tunnel that you look like. It looks like maybe someone tried to dig a tunnel here and it was just never used and just sealed off. And there are you're in the shadows coming in. It was a nice 6, and I think what you see is there's a few people hanging out there. I say I'm gonna say 4. Some of them are clearly not just regular humans. They're various sizes and shapes, and there's a burning oil drum on one side. A couple of them are around. One of them's just sitting on a mattress reading a book, and the other one is actually on a phone, like trying to get some sort of connection here. And yeah, like there's like some wires, and they're like trying it, and yeah, you got a 6 there, so they don't notice you. I think right now is a good time to take a quick break. Cool. So you are at the entrance of this long tunnel. There's a couple dudes over by a barrel. Someone sitting on a mattress reading a book. Someone fiddling with technology. What would you like to do? You are as yet undetected.
Hey, Svava. These guys don't look like they would kidnap Gavin. What do you think they're doing down here?
Should we just ask them if they know of someone who might have?
I'll step out. I'm less grubby. I look like normal.
Cool. When you do, the guy on the bed like snaps his head up. He is pale and bald, and looks over to the oil drum. The 2 guys who are sort of hunched over the oil drum sort of like stand up to their full height, which is significant. Probably it's hard to tell in the dark, 7 or 8 feet tall with things. It's hard to tell in the dark, gills or tufts or something. They're quite large. The other one doesn't give you any notice just yet. And the bald one calls out, "Are you lost?"
Hi. No. We're looking for somebody down here who's disappeared. Do you live here? Are you lost?
We're not lost.
Cool.
How did you find us?
By accident.
He had like sniffs the air a little bit.
We're looking for a guy named Gavin Grant. You can call me Narrow.
Narrow? Caliban. He kind of like puts his hand just like to make sure the other 2 guys don't do anything funny.
Like the play?
Like the play. And he like kind of holds up the book. Not this play, but
as we could do is air my mother brushed.
So who's your friend? And why do you think they'd be down here? Come into the light.
Nero will step closer.
He stands up. He's bare-chested, has some raggedy pants on, bare feet.
She doesn't say that, but you know. Oh, hey. He disappeared. He was working construction and then kind of disappeared. And Rich doesn't remember why we think he's in the sewers. So
There was so you went to visit his Gavin's apartment. It looked like he had left in the middle of something. There's food out, TV was still on, window was open, and dog bowl was overturned, and there was a trail of cable leading out. I think I forget exactly how you were led to the sewers.
Steven, do you remember?
Sorry, I think it might have been some Devil Wolf.
Yeah. Okay.
trickery.
Cool. I'll just lay it at her field. My friend, she's good at hunting things. She said that she smelled him down here.
She's not here with you, is she?
She had to go do something else.
All right. I'm sorry about your friend. I haven't seen him, but I hope he hasn't stumbled into trouble if he's down here. We are kind of laying low right now.
Are you guys in trouble with the law?
he's very amused at that.
She's serious. Rich smirking,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
she's like, oh my.
Probably, but that's not why. You didn't run into anything on your way down here?
Oh, there was some youths at but they were just graffiti
Yeah.
guys.
We've been able to avoid them for a while, but they've been hanging out down here more often. So he looks over at the two big guys and says, we might have to ask them to leave us alone.
Oh my gosh. They weren't very nice. Hi, I'm Nero. Who are you guys?
Hump, brute.
Wow. It was nice to meet you, Hump and Brute.
Hump and brute.
Hump?
Yeah, they're in the NPC tab.
Oh my god, I have to go look.
down by the Morlocks. And as you become accustomed to being in the low light here, the person fiddling with the technology is a young woman.
So we don't want to cause any trouble or draw any trouble to you if you're laying low. We just really want to find Gavin. I think he's in trouble.
Well, I don't feel like you would cause us any trouble, but I'm a little bit concerned. Who's we?
Minx doesn't want to give away our friend's friend.
And he sniffs a little bit again.
Lava?
Yeah, I'll step out at this point. We just didn't want to alarm you. We're not here to cause trouble. We're just looking for this person.
All right. And he's like a little bit more cautious with you. Like I said, we haven't seen any person down here.
You know where someone might be who was maybe taken down here against their will?
Against their will? I mean, there's a lot of nooks and crannies and unused places. We tend to stick where we know. Any number of places, really, but I don't think they would be there for long. Seems like something else has made a home down here, and we're trying to figure out how to deal with it. I think you notice Hump actually has like a big bandage around his forearm.
oh, maybe we can help each other then. We help you with your problem, and maybe that will make it easier for us to solve ours.
Okay. What do you propose?
I could you use some what kind of help would you need to deal with this?
Well, we have muscle covered. You're not a mutant. What are you?
Me, I'm a Asgardian.
You're Asgardian. Well, why are you underground?
What?
Marrow, she's Asgardian. Are you Asgardian too? You look too small to be Asgardian. Are you just your Earth friend? Is this your Earth friend?
No, I'm not an Asgardian.
Oh,
Yes, this is my perfectly normal human Earth friend.
Very normal.
nice to meet you. So you tell me about your problem, and we'll tell you about ours.
Yeah, I think unless someone else wants to take point on it, I think otherwise Slava will just tell them
Yeah.
that we're looking
Yeah.
for this person by this name. We think they've been taken into the sewers or disappeared into the sewers. Yeah.
There has been more activity down here, but I haven't seen any people in the tunnels. Just that thing. I know it sounds ridiculous when I say it out loud to someone who doesn't live down here, but someone he doesn't want to say it. And Meryl looks up from the stuff she's doing. She's like, "There's a giant alligator in the sewers."
Oh, those are the long, narrow dragon creatures, right?
Yeah. Not sure how it got in, and not sure how it's not getting stuck, but it stays on the move, and it is rather aggressive. And he's not a mutant. I can tell you that.
Oh. How can you tell us that?
I have a sense for these kind of things.
Oh. That's neat. It's possible that who we're looking for is the gator.
Who, your friend is an alligator?
Well, Nero thinks back to the posters of the Bayou thing, and he was like a right. Like, do we know that, or I'm trying to remember if Gavin
I think
conclusively revealed as a person who turns into an alligator during his
I think
days.
Trish definitely would have mentioned that to you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Gavin used to hench. That's the term for being a henchman for a supervillain. He used to hench. He's gone. Straight sounds a little legit-ish. And was working construction. And then some trouble happened. And he disappeared out of his apartment and didn't show up for work. And the temp agency asked us to look into it. And here we are. But when he was a henchman, he had the ability to turn into like a gator. He was a wrestler. It was very interesting. The whole shtick of like the Bayou or the Cajun something. I saw posters, but I think that he also did some alligator related stuff there as well. it's possible that we can help you if by finding Gavin. Maybe he's hurt. Maybe someone's chasing him, and that's why he has become an alligator. I'm mostly making this up. I'm not entirely sure.
You seem to know a lot about people that aren't normal, I guess.
Oh, yes. Xenobiology is very interesting to me.
Oh, you're a scientist.
No, I run a coffee shop. You should come by. It's great. It's Caffeine Hazard. You guys are more than welcome to come in, and I'll be happy to serve you some really good Joe.
Coffee shop? Why?
Mhm.
Okay. Great. Yeah, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. Just follow the trail of half-eaten rats and the noise it makes. What's your plan, though? You don't seem like, I mean, if Hump and Brute couldn't handle him, I mean, no offense to you, you seem very nice, and I'm sure you'd have a good chance against him, Miss Asgardian.
I understand. I look.
We can help you, but I would just rather wait for him to go away personally.
I think that's
Not really the gator wrestling type.
Yeah, that's a mediocre plan. Because alligators in the sewers seems to be a thing that persists as a rumor. My plan is to talk to him and see if I can appeal to his human side.
You want to talk to the alligator? Okay.
Who also, people could change, right?
Clearly.
That's pretty much my whole plan. Unless he gets violent, and then I'll defend myself. And I do have an Asgardian friend, so that plan seems more solid.
Well, all right.
I honestly thought he was kidnapped. Now finding that he's a alligator in the sewers, well, that is a bit of a problem. I'm sure he doesn't want to be an alligator. So maybe it'll work out.
Maybe it'll work out. Marrow, do you want to show them around? And she like, do you guys know your way around?
No. We very luckily came upon you. You look very helpful.
Yeah, lucky me.
What were you looking at? The tech stuff. What's that?
I'm just trying. Clearly, there's no reception down here. I'm just trying to figure out a way to get some signal. I managed to run some fiber optic, but I'm not a technical person. I'm just trying to plug things together and hope that it works. Trying to get these boys down into the 21st century. It's hard for some people to make it upstairs. I can usually pass, but
I understand.
Not everyone can.
Well, you don't have to pass to come to Caffeine Hazard. You could just come in.
We might have to pass to get there, though.
Oh, true. Maybe. I don't know.
Not all of us are, and she kind of like gestures at Svava, like as fortunates.
Well, we can work on that later. See, I don't think Darrow knows anything about tech either, but there's a part of her that desperately wants to help them with their technology. And, I have a friend who's very good with technology, she says aloud. Hopefully Nighthawk is listening in.
Is Nighthawk just lurking in the shadows still?
Yeah. These people don't look dangerous. So his plan right now is whenever we leave I'll expose myself to Marrow, but not to the rest of them. And I, to be honest, Nighthawk probably figures that Caliban knows he's here, just from the way he keeps sniffing the air, that he knows something's up.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, all right. You tell me where you want to go, and I'll point you in the right direction. Let's go.
Okay. Nice to meet you guys.
And she's not dressed in a super suit of any kind. She's just like got kind of like torn jeans, a flannel over her t-shirt, hair pulled back.
Nice. Does she have like, I know a little bit about Marrow from the comics. Do we see like bones protruding from forearms type stuff?
Yeah. She got like the bumps and ridges.
Yeah, as they start to walk, I think she can't help herself. Narrow's gonna like reach out and run her fingers along. This is so cool.
Yeah, her fingers just like shoot out. It's like, what are you doing? Don't touch me.
I'm sorry. It just looks neat.
We talked about this. Don't touch people you don't know.
That's okay.
You sort of crunch back.
Sorry.
And
sorry.
Like she winces. Like,
it's really interesting.
No, I expect it from people upstairs. It's fine. It happens all the time.
Okay.
Nighthawk,
how do you reveal yourself?
Yeah, so I think after we get outside of earshot or safe distance, back in the direction, wherever they're going. Once we get out of earshot of the thugs and Caliban, I think that's whenever I think I first tell Svava and Nero over their radios, hey, you might want to prepare our guide for me coming out and just make introductions.
Do you want to handle that, Svava? I've already pissed her off. So.
Yes, we have another friend who has helped guide us down here. It's just the three of us. There's no one else, but we didn't know who was down here, so we've tried to be cautious.
Another Asgardian or another normal person?
And I'll step out, all dressed it like in black and a black suit kind of thing, and say, normal-ish. To be completely honest, there is a fourth, but she's on a mission right now, not here. So
only four. You don't have a fifth, in your clown car down here?
We know there's tons of people around all the time, but we're the only four we know of, other than our friend Gavin. Yeah.
Okay. Give me a direction. I'll make sure you get there.
The last thing we saw some movement down this direction, and I head back in the area, navigating probably better than people knew the area should. Back where we saw that small face.
Yeah, and I would assume that like as you're traveling this way, the map is kind of filling in on your thing as well.
Your sound is a bit low, Steven. I don't know if the mic is.
Yeah, it might just be the mic. Is that better?
Yeah. Much better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. So what is your objective, I guess?
I think our immediate objective, I would suggest, so I think as we go further down, I think I say, okay, now that we know that that our friends haven't been seeing the direction where Caliban and their crew is, we should go investigate that face that we saw in the darkness. It's this way. And after that, maybe our guide can help us find, if that doesn't lead to anything, maybe our guide can help us find our gator friend.
You mentioned the face out loud so that Mero can hear.
I do. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like face, little guy.
So we saw during our reconnaissance away from your area, we saw a face pop up and then run away. So we're headed that direction.
Big eyes, skinny.
I didn't get a good look at it.
Yeah.
Bigger than a child. So yeah.
It's probably just Leech. He's out trying to see what he can do. He should probably run when he finds it, but he feels like he can handle it, so no one can tell him what to do.
And Leech is a friend of yours.
Yeah, he's one of us.
How many?
Why can no one tell him what to do?
He's just got a mind of his own. He's a teenager. You know how teenagers are. Maybe, I don't know. Do you know how teenagers are?
Yes. They're recalcitrant.
Big words. Yeah.
How many of your gang is down here?
Just the 5 of us. No one hiding in the shadows.
Okay.
So you can easily navigate to that room if you'd like to. Yeah, and then there's passageways going off of that. I think. Well, I guess tell me what you would like to do there.
So I think that at this point, plan A was to go where the growling noise was. B was the small face. Now that Marrow's identified the small face, I think it's, okay, guide. We're looking for our friend who's probably your gator. Can you help us find it?
Well, I can lead you to, there's some tunnels that run into the sewers. Maybe gators like water, I guess. As guardian, what's your or weirdo? Do you have can track things or smell things? It's pretty rank, so it probably wouldn't be too hard to track him down if anyone had a nose on him.
I have a nose, but it's not suitable for tracking.
My olfactory senses aren't that strong.
Olfactory senses. Okay. Are you a librarian as well as a coffee shop owner?
I retreat into big words when I'm nervous.
So Mero, do you have an idea where the gator has been seen, and maybe we can triangulate a good position, or even, track it, find where its grounds are?
If you're a tracker, we can start here. I can take you to where it took a bite out of a lump. That's where we saw it last, or hump. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's do that.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, it is easy to get there. She knows the tunnels quite well. Are you continuing to add the area to the map as you go along, I assume?
I am, and I think I'm continuing to map with the drone off on the side from a different direction. Yeah.
Cool. I think I'd like a roll for that.
Yeah. And is this a survey, or is there some other reason, like maybe sneak or something like that?
I think it's up to you. This is for the seeing what it sees when it maps.
Continuing to map. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that
seeing if it finds something interesting or gets into trouble along the way.
Yeah. So let me. So I'm just gonna roll flat. I have a 1 in survey, so let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's a 1.
You do have a 1 in survey, indeed. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How are you monitoring the drone?
I think in my goggles, it's like a heads-up display. So there's a little map on the side, and then on another side, it's like a little night vision, camera view.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's going through some tunnels. There's a smaller storage room or something. You can tell the tunnels are rough, and then it opens up into a constructed room, like they've dug into someone's basement or something, and then out. And as it's like doing the little sweep of that, you basically just see like a pitch. There's a crunch, and it goes black.
I say, okay, something just grabbed the drone camera, and I think I reach out and I show, I pop up the map again in red. This is the first time Mero's seen it, but pull up the map of where we are and where the drone was destroyed. And I was like, might be first contact, might be something.
Cheater. Okay. um, you want to go towards it?
Uh-huh.
Cool. And you have your little map. So why am I here besides to get eaten?
Oh, you're here because you told us about Leech and you're native to this area, so you can help us find out and make sure that we don't stumble across friends and think that they're not friends. You're welcome to stay back while we do the dangerous stuff, if that's what you'd prefer.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer that. If you want to follow your little cheater map, I'll tag along.
Wait, this is a game? What do you mean cheater?
Some people rely on experience, and some people have crutches.
Well, and some people take advantage of whatever skills they have.
And that's not all.
Yeah. And I think we'll just head in that direction.
All right.
And I'm going to be very quiet. I'm going to slip back into the shadows, and I'll also do reconnaissance and feedback to the rest of them, what I see.
Cool. What does the recon look like?
So again, I'm gonna try and stay as high as possible. Are we still in tunnels that are about 4 feet tall?
Yeah. You're hunched. They're of varying, but it's cramped.
Yeah. So I think for me at least, I'm gonna stick to the wall and crouch and look around corners and just move a little bit more quietly. I might come from, if I've got a good enough map, I might come from a different tunnel in the direction of where this is than where Svava and Nero are coming from.
Cool. Yeah. So you're coming at that room from a different angle. Are you asking Mero to help you not get lost when you go off your map?
I'm sticking to the area where I know where the map is, or at least it's logical that I can go in a particular direction. There might be tunnels that I haven't mapped yet, but I'm not going to head off the map blindly. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so you're able to eventually, it takes you a little longer than you thought, kind of wind your way around to there's two entrances into this smallish room. Looks like the basement of a single family home, but in New York City. And it's dark. You have night vision?
Yeah, on my goggles. Yeah.
Are the other two hanging far back, or are they like close with you?
It's up to them.
I'm sticking fairly close, like giving Nighthawk the distance needs, but staying close enough that I can jump in if something happens.
And Nero's staying close to Svava.
Cool.
And definitely trying to stay out of Mero's way.
Sweet. So you enter the room. It looks like it was a storage room. There's a couple like a shelf of like banker boxes that are just like ruined over here. A couple plastic bins that looks like they may have been like someone's Goodwill donations or something. And looks like just kind of like a tarp kind of laying across one wall. And as you're surveying the area, as soon as you turn your head away, the tarp just leaps at you and tries to take a chomp.
Awesome.
think it's just going to do level 2 harm unless you resist it.
Okay, so one of my powers is enhanced reflexes, and my mastered borderlines, the really difficult one, is dodged bullets with fast reflexes. So,
nice.
I think I could make a roll to dodge.
Yeah, I think it'll just be a resistance roll.
Okay, it'll be a resistance roll. Perfect.
Yeah.
And that would be probably with
Probably prowess.
prowess.
Yeah.
That's 3. So
Cool.
my highest is a 4, so I take 2.
Yeah, 2 resilience. But yeah, so tell me how you dodge this this maw coming at you.
Yeah, it leaps for me, and I think it leaps for my throat, and I duck down, so that the jaws don't land on me, but the body does, right? The body knocks me, throws me for a loop. Yeah. So I think that's how I avoid it. Is the water? Is this a floor? Or is there water on the floor? Or
it's just a floor. It's damp, but it's not flooded here.
Yeah. So I'm just on the floor with my back to the thing. Yeah.
Cool. Do Svava and Nero, if you're close enough, you can definitely hear it, and you can hear it on comms if something's going on. Tell me what you hear and how you react.
Yeah, what I hear, because I assume there's some noise there. I'm going to rush in and see if I can pull it off Nighthawk.
Yeah.
Rush in behind Svava, see if I can help, but not entirely sure what I can do here.
Cool. Yeah, so the gator kind of it like rolls off and kind of rears up. It is it's not just like a full gator, it is a like 9-foot long alligator type thing. But it is kind of hunched, like kind of like a rabbit is ridiculous. Like, like some 4-legged animal that has like learned to stand on 2 legs. So it's kind of like T-Rexed a little bit. It's got like a big curved leathery back, and just like a 3-foot long snapper, like 2 little beady eyes, and does not have any evidence of wearing or having worn clothes if it ever did, but it is kind of like hunched on 2 legs with balancing on its tail, and it is like its eyes are wild.
So my goal is to keep Nighthawk safe. It's not to attack the alligator. So
Okay.
Is it still on top of him, or is it like wearing over him, or
it kind of rolled off and reared back, so like you see it's it pulls up to its full extent, and it's hunched against the ceiling here, and it is definitely fixing to attack Nighthawk again if nothing happens. Nighthawk, what are you doing?
I'm going to put myself between Nighthawk and the alligator. Whoa! And like ready to block it if it, or try to like wrestle it if it attacks.
Yeah, it lunges at you.
Okay, cool.
What is your reaction, and how would you like to handle wrestling a gator?
My reaction is try to grab it and like wrap one arm around the snout, head, face thing, and like just try to control it, I guess.
Cool. This definitely sounds like a skirmish.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
I
That's cool.
could use a devil's bargain.
Yeah. No matter what. So your objective is to just sort of like restrain it.
Yeah.
Without getting hurt.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's a good devil's bargain for that.
I mean, I'm fine with getting a little bit banged up or something.
I think no matter what happens, Marrow jumps in to the fray.
Harsh.
Oof. Yeah, okay. I need the die. So
I will also help you
Awesome.
and provide assistance.
What does that look like?
This is me. It's almost like a bullfight where I'm like, waving and getting the attention of the croc, as a distraction. Yeah.
Cool. And Swava's like slipping around behind it. Nice. Sweet. Let's see those 3 dice. And this is standard risky, we'll say still.
Yeah. So I'm rolling 3 dice then, and I get a 5.
All right. So you do manage to it's like trying to decide whether to snap at you or Nighthawk. And you eventually get in there. And it is much bigger than you are, but you are very, very strong and are able to get it. And it's still thrashing around and snapping. Its tail lashes around. Ooh, yeah. And I think the consequence is it's a cramped space, and this is just a messy brawl in here. And it's like thrashing and smacking, and you hear it like thumps its tail against the wall over and over again. And Marrow like appears at the door and like does like you hear like this disgusting bone crack noise as her forearms elongate and her fingers get like 3 times as long and turn into nails, and she's like, it looks like it hurts a lot. And it looks like she's about to like she's running in to like try to do something. And she just freezes and looks behind where you all and says, how close are we to the river?
Oh God.
And the wall is.
You're the one who knows where we are.
Yeah, I know underground. I don't know above ground. I don't know if the river is technically above ground or, but I'm not Aquaman.
Is that a water person?
Yeah, DC is a franchise in the MCU officially. Batman exists, and
that's
so
awesome.
Yeah, it was in
well, Eternals.
Yeah, they called. They mentioned Alfred too.
Oh wow!
It's like, oh cool, yeah. So Batman and Superman are just comic books in the MCU.
That's awesome. I really like that.
Cool. Looks like that wall might give way anytime.
So does that move us to desperate or risky, or?
I think that'll move you to desperate. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
XP time.
I am happy to let that consequence stand.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, you got an armful of gator and a wall that's about to collapse. And yeah. What do you feel like doing?
Remake should probably do a thing. She's terrible at all of these things. This is great. I like having her do things she's not good at because that's most things. I think. Ooh, +3 resilience. Sorry. I think she's gonna try to. She also doesn't believe that fighting this thing is gonna help him not be a gator. So I don't think she wants to hurt him. But he's so here's what she's gonna do. She saw Mr. Fantastic do this thing. She's gonna try to elongate herself and wrap around him and entangle him.
Nice. I love it. Yeah, so this is
difficult for her.
Desperate position. This is difficult. Is this do you think this counts? I'm asking you, does this count as stretching your body, or do you think it's a different thing, like entrapping someone with elongated arms feels like a different action?
Up to you. I'm still trying to get a feel for how the powers work. I was using stretching her body up to 2 times its length as the guide.
Yeah. I think ultimately it is up to you whether you feel like that is the stretching is the action that you're doing here, or the sort of like entangling is the action, which might be a separate thing. But it's your
I'm
call,
thinking
ultimately.
she stretches to get permission to entangle.
Okay, awesome, great, cool. That totally works out. So again, desperate position. Probably limited effect at this point.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Do you have a devil's bargain for me?
And your intention is just to restrain Gator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the devil's bargain is whether you restrain Gator or not, the wall collapses.
Oh my gosh, why would I not take that?
Cool.
Okay.
Anyone have anything else that might be interesting?
I can probably help you. I'll give you a die.
I'll take it.
Awesome.
Feels like a skirmish, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It actually says you entangle a target in close combat. So
there you go.
What do you know? So it looks like I'm rolling 3 dice.
Cool.
But I'm going to take the devil's bargain and use that to increase my effect from limited to standard. So I'll be rolling 2 dice.
Cool.
In order to do the thing. Now, sorry, this is more of a mechanical question.
Yeah.
She's stretching her body to 2 times its length. Do I pay 2 resilience just to do the action, or did the power?
No. So if that is a learned action, that's something that you don't need to spend resilience on. So if it was like, it's like, oh, I like, throw my arms and lasso a bull or whatever, like if you think that's a different action than elongation, then that would be a thing that you would pay resilience for. And then
so that's why they wanted to be specific.
Yeah. And then if you roll a crit on that, then that becomes a learned action. Then you can just do it.
You know what? Since the crit sounds fun, and also I don't think I wrote that. I don't even know what you're going to do with stretch too bad. I didn't write that very well. I'll pay the 2 resilience.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and so we don't need to write anything down until it becomes learned action.
Yep. Okay.
Cool.
And I got a 4.
Cool. That's a 4. So you do it, and it is a desperate situation still. So there is going to be serious harm, a serious complication, a reduced effect. You paid for increased effect, so we're not going to take that away. So yeah, you definitely are able to like stretch. Oh yeah, mark XP. Boom. You are absolutely able to stretch your arms around and kind of. I think you can like wrap it around twice since you paid resilience for it. I think this is like a more than just like getting a little bit longer, so you can actually like Mr. Fantastic the Gator and
sweet
and trap it in your rubbery embrace. Oh yeah. Yeah, so this is what's going to happen in this desperate situation. So between you and Svava, Gator's still thrashing, but he's definitely contained. Bricks start popping out of the wall and water starts flowing out of them. And in the doorway, I think Nighthawk probably sees this first. You're observant. In the doorway, there's a green-skinned teenager with big old eyes and a red wool hat, carrying like a terrier, and he's looking at Marrow and he says, "I found Bijou," and then the wall just breaks and all hell comes loose. What do you do? Everyone in this room is going to get washed out of the room in real short order. You have time to do some stuff though if you want.
I am interested in keeping hold of the gator.
Yeah, you're absolutely able to do that. Yeah, it's doing like the turning thing. It's trying to like.
I am so excited I'm wrestling a gator. This is awesome.
I think our little green friend and Marrow are also in danger from the flooding as well.
I think I will try to get them out of there, like take the take the brunt of the flooding and push them in front of me, so that if there are still bricks flying and that sort of thing, that they hit me instead of them and I get them out.
Okay. Is Fava still wrestling the gator, or are you Remix has entangled stuff.
If it seems like Narrow has control over it, then I will let it go and try to help the others instead.
Yeah, she definitely does.
Yeah, cool. We got this, Narrow.
What is Nighthawk doing at this point?
I think Nighthawk, had stepped forward towards the gator with like I think you see him pull out like a taser. And you see this electric arc between them. And then you see Remix jump and stretch around the gator, and he kind of puts the taser away. And the wall collapses in, right? And he whips around and he sees whenever the small green teenager comes into the room, Leech. Whenever Leech comes in, he whips around, as if on guard. And that's when the wall kind of collapses. And he grabs something from his belt and shoves it in his mouth. I think it's like a rebreather kind of thing.
Nice.
And probably so Svalda is standing between the wall and Morrow and Leech to protect them, correct? I think I'm going to I want to. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fire like a grappling hook, down the center, towards where Leech and Mara are, so that they can grab a hold of it and have some stability as the water rushes in.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to see a roll for that for sure.
Yeah.
What do you feel like that is?
Let's see. The best guess is probably Tinker. That doesn't quite fit. What is Finesse? Does it have anything? Finesse might be good.
I would maybe suggest Prowl because it's kind of the shooting kind of thing with accuracy.
Okay.
But whichever you think is, Finesse is also totally a thing.
Yeah, it's control a craft, pick someone's pocket. I think it's going to be Finesse just to try and make sure that I can get something close to them.
Yeah, you're handling this skillfully with grace. So
yeah,
cool. And your intention is to give folks getting washed out of the room something to grab onto.
That's right. And I think that costs me a resilience because I have generic gadgets, but I think something like this, using it for this purpose isn't exactly what it was intended for.
So what would you call this ability then?
This is repurposing a gadget. Grappling line is yeah.
Cool.
And I'll fire that. Let's see. I'll ask for a devil's bargain. I don't have a great idea, but
regardless whether the grapple line gets attached to something or shoots wild, either way, some one of you is going to get tangled up in it.
So I don't think I'll take that.
Anyone else have one they think is interesting?
So I also have an ability called Battleborn, which is during a session, during a fight, you can reduce harm or push yourself without paying resilience. Can I? Is this enough of a fight that I can do this?
Yeah, I would say that for sure.
So then I'll roll my 2 dice. Let's see what happens. I got a 4.
Whew, again. Cool. So, and this is still desperate. So mark XP.
Yes.
So yeah, goes. Where's the grappling hook latch onto?
So if desperate, this is do it with a consequence, severe harm, or serious complication. The worst place for it to connect into. Oh yeah, so I think so. It goes in between the two of them, but in between Morrow and Leech, but it connects up to a part of that same wall that's collapsing.
Oh, nice. So kind of like diagonally across the room. Cool. I don't want to take away the thing that you did. So you said it goes between Marrow and Leech and Bijou.
Yeah.
So since Leech was on the doorway side of that, I think he and Bijou get washed away before he can grab onto it.
Okay. So I want to negate that consequence.
Awesome.
Yeah. And that will be more with Prowl to kind of get an idea of where people are going to go
with prowess. Yeah.
Yes, with prowess. Is that right? Okay, so you negate with prowess?
Yep.
Okay. And just to make sure everything's on the table, I have 2 resilience left, so this could trauma me out. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what that looks like.
Yeah.
2 5s. Okay.
Awesome. So that's only 1 resilience.
Yep.
And Leech is able to grab onto the grapple line with one arm and hold Bijou with the other.
And how about in this case is he does get washed away, but I'm able to grab him or whip the line around him.
Nice.
Catch him. Yeah.
So you're like anchored on one end of the line. You've got him, and then it's up
and that's where the resilience came from. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Man, this is a clusterfuck. Let's take 5 minutes, and we'll come back and see what happens. Okay. So you're in a storeroom. Reminx has a giant alligator man entangled with extended arms. Svava is protecting Marrow and Leech, who are about to get washed away by the water rushing in from the wall that the gator smashed in. Nighthawk sent a grappling line across to help them and anyone else who is in danger of getting washed away. What do you do?
I'd like to try to grab on to Leech, I guess, is the one who's in danger of being washed away. So I grab the line with one hand and grab him with the other.
Yeah, I think you can do that since he's already mechanically saved by the line. So yeah, you can just grab a hold of him. Yeah. And he's holding the terrier as well.
Yeah. Yeah, then
And there are 2 exits to this room, and water is rushing out both of them.
I was thinking of just trying to yell at the alligator, stop fooling around, and turn back into a person. I'm not sure if that's a viable avenue of action.
Remix is planning on talking to him. I just want to let Svava do saving because that's super more important.
Yeah, but since I don't need to roll, there's no. I don't.
All right, cool. Gavin, you need to come back to us. That's the opening salvo.
I'm going to make a fortune roll since Bijou's here.
Eat.
2 dice. Nope. That's a 2 on the fortune roll. Yeah, this is he's full alligator mode. Still, like, you've got him safely restrained, but he's still thrashing and snapping and not in the mood to listen to anybody.
Dang it.
Do you have any plans for the water that is rushing into the rest of the tunnel complex?
Avoid it?
What is there anything like? Is there anything here that's big enough that we could use it to plug the hole, or is it just? I mean, because we can't put the bricks back, so
You might be able to collapse the tunnels.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, then I will yell to Narrow, just get him out of here, and to Nighthawk, you protect them, and then I will just hold as long as possible, and then just try to smash things until
Nice. So do the ones who are exiting, are you going to kind of like get yourself washed along to expediently exit, or what's your plan?
Remix's plan is to hold on.
Cool. Yeah, that'll work.
So yeah, I'm gonna follow Remix down the. We're going with the water because that's the easiest, right?
Yeah, cool. Let's go with the flow.
Yep.
All right. Svava, let's so I think so you are just like gonna smash into the ceiling with
like the walls that are not the walls against the closest to the river.
So you're just like punching them, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless
Awesome.
there is something here I can use to hit them with.
It all feels kind of junky down here, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be a borderline action for you.
That sounds very fair.
Yeah, this feels along around the level of punching a truck to a stop.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm rolling smash.
Yeah, I think you're right. Cool. So that's 2 dice.
I will gladly take Devil's Bargain.
Yeah. The clear Devil's Bargain for me is that Svava, I guess that would be all if it worked. That isn't so clear then. I think one way or the other, Svava is trapped in the room. So whether you're trapped by the falling debris or by the rising water, one way or the other.
Yeah, that sounds. I'll take that.
Cool.
And ooh.
I think this is still standard desperate.
Yeah. Is standard effect enough to accomplish this after I paid the resilience?
Yeah, especially after the resilience.
Yeah, cool. Then 3 dice.
Cool. Do you want to push yourself?
Not with just 3 resilience left.
Cool.
I may need that to resist the consequence. So.
Yeah. Do you think anyone's in position to help?
maybe not help with
I-
the smashing unless Nighthawk has some explosives or something.
Or maybe like yank the line.
Yeah, if I help you, I'll trauma out.
Oh, okay. Then don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah,
I'm fine
I just
with that.
rolled my 3 dice.
Looks like 3 dice then.
Hey, he wants more XP. Come on. Why are you denying him XP?
I get a 4.
You got
and
a
I get
4,
an XP.
so you get an XP. So you do it. You definitely do it. But this is a consequence on desperate. So yeah, tell me what it looks like while you're punching the walls. Like, are you like calm, angry, determined, worried?
Ooh. I think it's a combination of determination to because she knows she needs to do this fast and there are people who depend on her, and
Mhm.
kind of being exhilarated at getting to really let loose and hit things that are supposed to break and are really hard to break,
Nice.
instead of like hitting a person where you might do something
Mushy
terrible
people.
to them.
Cool. So yeah, I think it looks like, where the camera kind of gets washed away with everyone else. We just see her like grinning and doing this. And it takes, it takes a few punches, and y'all get washed away a good distance. But the ceiling does start to fall in, and like the entire weight of whatever was above you falls on top of Giant Slayer. So you did stop the water. You're going to take level 4 harm.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll use. I can do this all day.
Yeah.
Ignore any harm that would kill you. Level 4 harm.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you are under there.
I'm trapped.
You're trapped right now. The water is stopped. And the tunnels are ankle deep in water. Gator's still thrashing around. You've got him restrained though, and everyone else is just kind of sputtering on the ground. Reminx and Nighthawk, what would you like to do?
So I have a question. What does Leech's powers do?
You don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But okay, Steven knows, and I'm having some dissonance problems.
Okay.
Right? So I'd like to, in order to fit that back in, I'd like to know what's going on.
Yeah. So what I have intention is he can intentionally do the power nullification field, and probably also the fear thing.
Or so no, he can turn it off.
Yeah, so he can turn it on and off.
Oh, okay, that's the thing I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not happening. Okay, because I was like, well, why isn't the Gator dude all reverting back? That explains it. Thank you so much. I appreciate
this. This is teenage Leech, not baby Leech.
Oh, and I don't know the difference. So yeah, okay.
Oh, me neither. I'm just assuming that as he got older, his powers got more under control.
Perfect. So I'm not sure yet. Remix, did you know what you were going to do?
Like Rich the player doesn't want to keep trying to hammer an action that is off the table. Is it not an option to talk him down?
I think right now he is enraged and unable to be talked down.
Cool. Okay, fair. Cool. Thank you for having that more meta conversation, because I didn't want to cause frustration by continuing to do a thing that isn't an option. Okay. Cool.
If neither of you have a strong plan, I have a move I can make. So
I do not have a strong plan.
And I think all I'm doing is I'm making sure that Marrow, Remix, and Leech are all okay. Sputtering, get them out of the water,
and
all that kind of stuff. And Pichu, yes.
Is
Cool,
there pics?
yes.
I don't see a pic of Bijou. Where is the pic of Bijou?
Oh no, I'll put up a pic of it soon.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Bijou pic.
Because Googling has not helped me find a pic of Bijou.
I'm thinking one of the like little mustachy ones. Cool. So yeah, you're making sure they're safe. They're like sputtering. Marrow is primarily concerned that Leech is okay, but also just kind of like pissed off that this all just went sideways. And I think once everyone's, Gator's getting a little tired, but still thrashing. And Leech just looks to Marrow and says, "Is it okay if I do it now?" And she's like, "Well, yeah, we might as well try." Yeah, and so Leech like stands up and takes a breath, and just like the shimmery air field happens, and Marrow's closest, her bones crunch back in. Svava, nothing changes outwardly on you because you are under a thing far away. You're probably fine there. Nighthawk, you don't have any powers to take away, right? Because you're just a rich guy. Oh no, you're super.
Yeah, I have some minor like strength and resilience and reflexes kind of things.
Did we say that was like super soldier serum-y kind of stuff, or is that?
It is,
Okay.
but it's something that will develop over time.
Yeah.
Basically, as yeah. So basically,
your bank account drains. So you probably like feel a little bit of exhaustion, but
exactly, yeah, and slower than normal, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's the Remix Gator tangle that is the real show there.
Love it.
Remix, I think you're like, you start to feel yourself not calcifying, but like everything becomes stiff and uncomfortable, and like you kind of have to, it feels like you have to actually pull it back yourself. It doesn't just flop out. Like you're like, oh, something's wrong, and if I don't take care of this, I'm gonna hurt myself real bad. So you morph back into when you kind of relax into your, when you relax, do you turn back into Skrull looking?
Yep.
Awesome. And I think Gator is still a big Gator right now, and he like, as he loosens, he's like, oh, super angry, and like rears back to like do a deep blue sea on you, and he like starts convulsing and stuff, and his skin begins to soften, and he just like curls up, and eventually shrinks into a large gentleman, a large nude gentleman, who is just passed out on the ground. And you're able to recognize him from the posters. He's a little bit older, a little bit rougher, but that's definitely Gavin.
All right. I didn't help at all, but it's okay. But Svava's like in the crashed room, right? So I think there's a moment where Nero says, "Okay, great. Is he breathing? Awesome. Where's Svava?" And then she's gonna try to get back, but I imagine she's awkward and in pain, and I don't know, like, does this hurt, or does it just, once I snapped back, I was okay, but it was weird?
It's uncomfortable. It's like you slept wrong.
Okay. Well, I'll push that aside because I'm really worried about my friend Svava, so I'm gonna try to help somehow if I can.
So the first thing I do is I step up to Gavin and I zip time, right?
Nice.
And I zip time, and I turn around and look at the kid a little bit, and I'm like, now that's some weird, that's some weird things going on. And I think I then, so we knew Gavin was down here, but we didn't know he was a Gator. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. You just like followed a trail.
But we knew he could have been a Gator.
Possibly. Yeah.
because of, his history and his powers.
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure out, would I have brought something like a chain that a gator couldn't break or something like that?
Maybe.
Because
I think now that you bring it up, I think the difference between what you saw here and like the newsreels or reports or whatever you saw from him, before, when he turned into a gator, he was like basically like a bipedal gator guy. He was like strong, vicious, tough, but still a person.
Yes.
Whereas this seemed to be just like a monster.
Okay. I think what I would have done though is I would have brought a trank, right?
Okay. Yeah.
That would have made the most sense, and I think I'm just going to strap that on him. So, if something happens and he wakes up, breaks out of his restraints, I can trank him. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think that definitely falls under generic gadgets. Yeah, and I like after I think it takes a few minutes, and Leech is looking a little shaky and a little pale. And he asks you like, is it okay? Can I let him go?
And yes, me, not Marrow.
You, yeah.
Yeah,
Because you're the one tying him up.
Yeah, you can let him go. Are you okay, kid?
Yeah. Just I'm a little bit out of practice.
So you can do this anytime?
Pretty much any time. Yeah. It makes the others uncomfortable, so I don't.
Nice.
I don't know about nice.
Let's by that I mean interesting. That's fascinating. Okay. Yeah, you can turn it off. And I'll be ready if the gator comes back. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he goes out and like I think brace a little bit, like getting ready for him. And he like convulses and twitches a couple times, but he remains in human form.
Good. Okay. And I think now
and Bijou jumps down and like licks his face, like nuzzles him a little bit.
I'm like, okay, let me go see if I can help Naro. You guys are okay here?
Yeah, you're just gonna leave us with this thing?
What are the alternatives?
He's your guy.
Okay. Well, the plan was Svava would help drag this guy out. I don't think the rest of us can do it on our own, so maybe we can go help try and dig Svava out while this guy's out. And come help me pick this guy up. We'll carry him back where Remix is.
Fine. He reluctantly helps. Yeah, so y'all get over to the rubble pile. Svava, how you doing?
Well, I'm stuck under a pile. Or sorry, did they dig me out, or am I still? I'm still trapped under the.
I think you're trapped under now. I think we're not going to need a roll or anything to get you out. It'll just be narrated, but it'll take a hot minute. How is Svava doing, being like entombed alive, not knowing what's going on outside?
I think she is. It is tricky. I don't think she's panicked, but it is. I mean, it's scary to be trapped under a pile of rubble and knowing that there's water leaking in and not being sure if she can make it out or if anyone else can.
Yeah, and you can't like really move your arms or legs and kind of kind of feeling a little bit vulnerable maybe. Cool. Yeah. You're tough though. Once you hear them digging you out, it's time to start wiggling and pushing and stuff. There's a lot of rubble there, and you want to be careful not to unplug the hole. And so it takes a while. It takes a couple hours, probably the three of you, because Leech is probably just hanging out. getting stuff, and Marrow's just complaining the entire time. But eventually, you get get it off enough so that she can like come out. Yeah, and so you're all safe and sound.
Oh, it's a big hug. Remix is a hugger. So she like jumps off to hug Sova around her neck. Oh wait, are you bruised? Are you okay?
It's yeah, a bit bruised and incredibly filthy after being like trapped under rubble and in the
like mud
river
and
water
yeah.
and yeah, so but yeah, still like hugging, tight hug. Everything okay with Gavin?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but something turned my powers off. And his too, I think.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Oh, no, it helped out. That's great.
Are you okay? Did it hurt or anything?
She's a scroll, so you know.
Yeah,
it
looks like I kind of messed you up a little bit.
No, this is me. This is who I am.
Cool. Well, this is who I am. So nice to meet you finally.
Yeah, everyone made it out okay.
Seems like it. Thanks to
I
you.
think she kind of reaches out to the dog to sniff her fingers, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Nighthawk, I think you are going to have to trank him to transport him, but he'll be out the entire time.
Yeah.
How do you? What does the parting with Marrow and Leech look like? Do you go back to the alley with them, or you'll say goodbye in the tunnels?
I think we should actually go back and make sure that they make it all the way back to Caliban.
Yeah. Yeah, it took a little bit longer than you thought. I think they were worried, but didn't want to go out. And Caliban gives Leech a big hug, and like gives Marrow a nod. And the two big guys whose names I keep forgetting.
They're brothers.
Hump and Brute. Yeah. They like both pick up Leech and Marrow's like, fine, yes, we're fine, we're okay, we're dirty, but we're fine. And I think she, in the course of her complaining, she says what happened with the water in the room and stuff, and I think they're all concerned that it is not stable or safe. Caliban's like, yeah, that was I mean, if anything, it was a water main. Like, we're not going to get a river washing it out here, so it's not great. They might send guys down to fix it though, so I know we might have to lay low somewhere else or find another place.
So no, go ahead, Remix.
No. If it's fine.
No, you're the talker.
If you guys want to stay with me instead of laying low, it'll be a little tight, but I've got a place above the coffee shop.
And I think it's Marrow. It's like, I don't think we're gonna do so good upstairs. Even if, I mean, I don't want to hide in a room with. No offense, I love you guys, but I'm not going to be stuck in a room all day with everyone.
Oh well, there's a back stairway up and down to the coffee shop, and then you could slip down to the sewers anytime you want.
Yeah, Caliban's like puts his hand on your shoulders, like, I really appreciate the offer, but yeah, we do fine. We'll do fine down here.
So in that case, I will report this and see if I can't get a construction crew to come over here to make sure that the construction crew attached is associated with one of these, buildings or something like that, so that we can make sure that it disturbs you as little as possible.
Okay. Well, we'll take care of ourselves no matter what happens. We always do.
Do you mind if we stay in contact? My friends tell me that you had some tech issues that I might be able to help with.
Yeah, you gonna run some Google Fiber down here for us?
I can see what I can do. And, you know, I know that Nero said, you're welcome anytime, and we might see if we can't find a way to make it easier. And I think I'll leave like a little map with them of, where we've gotten to, and maybe, this is, on the streets, this is where caffeine hazard is. So this is a safe house.
Right. Cool. I think between the repair crew and the Google Fiber, I think I want that to cost a resource. Unless you want to.
Yeah.
Does that feel fair?
Feels fair to me.
Oh yeah.
Because it's
not
not only
sure how resources work, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think under the Explorers tab you have 2 resources right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think it's not just the paying for it, which you could easily do. I think it's also like pulling some strings and making sure it's under the I don't know, discreet.
Yeah. 100%.
Under the radar. Cool.
100%.
Yeah. So I'll mark off the resource for that.
Yep.
I don't think none of you have your own resources yet, do you? No. Cool. Sweet. I think so they bid you goodbye. You're able to get him up and out easily and get him over to Trish's place. What's it called?
It's Patsy Walker's temp agency, I think.
Yeah, Idea Hive.
Yeah. Oh, that. Sorry.
Yeah. I have it written down in a place where I can't find it. So you're able to get him back to Idea Hive, and she thanks you profusely. She, I don't know why this happened. I don't know how it happened. It sounds like this doesn't sound like him. Even if he decided to go back to his old ways, it sounds like he was just completely out of control. I don't know. I don't. I'll talk to my people. Thank you for bringing him back safely, and Bijou, and you too. You will also. I'll keep you safe.
You should probably have a way. He was not himself whenever he was converted. So you should have a way to keep him. We should lock him up.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the facility where Abomination was being held in She-Hulk?
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Wasn't that the rat?
No.
Was it?
Was it somewhere else?
I thought it was somewhere else.
Yeah, when they entered, it was on land.
It was.
Yeah, I'll find out the name of it. Wherever that was, they're going to take him there for monitoring and evaluation before making a decision whether to let him out again. Write that down.
DODC Supermax.
DODC Supermax. Cool. And I think that successfully wraps the mission. Congratulations. Let's see. How do we wrap up the mission? Here we go. Where is it? So let's see. I think between this and the stuff that we got during the downtime, I think we had 3 heat altogether. So I'll make a note of that, and I'll put some Fallout clocks together during my downtime. So let's talk about where is all the mission stuff. Mission heat and Fallout. There we go. 162. Cool. rewards. There we go. Cool. So you will get some reputation. So you're going to get 2 reputation by default. Let me mark that on the tracker for you. Boom. 2 reputation by default. If the target of the mission is a higher tier, take +1 rep per tier. I'm going to say he was tier 1, so that's an extra rep there. That was good. You got that. I think that's it. 3 rep. I don't think there's anything else we add to that. I don't see anything. I'll double check and make sure add up if there is. You did get resources as a result here. You get resources based on the nature of the mission and what kind of lasting effect it has on the area. I think this was a standard mission. So you'll get 6 for that. So you can take 2 resources each, split them up.
Okay.
And if any of you want to drop them in the gang sheet, you can do that. Gang, you're a team, not a gang. Cool. There's that. We got our 3 heat. Let me check and make sure. How did the mission go? Great. Smooth and quiet. Would you say that this was loud and chaotic? I kind of feel like it was contained because it was all underground. What do you feel like?
Yeah, that's the whole reason the Morlocks are there, right? Is
Yeah.
to stay out of the limelight, which I think we did.
Cool. So I'm going to maybe get 2 heat for that. It was not a high profile job. There was no killing. Did you do anything compromising? I don't think so. I think it all washed out. So that's going to be 5 heat altogether. 5. And I'll drop all that heat into clocks when I make them. No, the fallout clocks. That's what they are. And I think that is the end of that mission, and the end of the episode. Unless you have anything you want to do before we go. We'll get you XP too.
Yeah, I was going to say let's do XP because I'll forget before next time.
Cool. Sweet. Explorers XP. Did you discover something new about the world?
Yeah.
Morlocks.
Oh yeah. Oh, you also have an advance coming already too. We need to take care of that. Morlocks. Anything else?
I mean, I feel like this whole power drain that's a thing. I think that's new to Svava at least. I'm not sure if Nighthawk or Naro would be.
Yeah, I think that's new for.
Cool. We'll give you 2 XP for that then. Did you contend with challenges above your current station? Definitely. Yeah, definitely that was rough. You can take 1 for that. Bolster your reputation or develop a new one.
And our present reputation is strange.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were probably the least strange here. What are the other reputations? Brutal, daring, ambitious,
honorable, professional,
savvy, subtle, loyal. I think we might have started a reputation build with the Morlocks, but I don't think we've gotten far enough. We've made the introduction, but I don't think we've actually done anything, and I don't think we've been strange.
I would say that you made some kind of reputation with Patsy.
True.
Because that's definitely a she's definitely like, oh, y'all can handle yourselves.
Yeah, maybe if we're picking from the list, then maybe daring.
How do y'all feel about that?
Sure.
Yeah, cool. I think that makes sense.
Cool. Let's just add daring there. Strange and daring. Cool. So that's 4. Did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the team?
Well, how have we defined the team?
Well, I think that number one, the name of the team is the Custodians, right? I mean, I think we did a good job going down there, staying on target, investigating, finding the Morlocks, and making friends, not enemies, and then continuing to search. We stayed on target, I guess is what I have to say. So
yeah, and I feel like reaching out to the Morlocks and offering them help and trying to be good community members, I guess, feels like part of what we do.
Cool. Do you think that's worth 1 or 2?
1, probably.
Yeah, I think 1.
Cool. So that's 5 XP altogether. And let's do the advance next week when Kai comes back. Sweet. Let's do Giant Slayers XP. Did you address a challenge with compassion, or did you inspire someone?
I maybe like a combination by taking it up, like putting myself at risk to protect the others.
Yeah, for sure. Does that feel like 1 or 2?
1, I think.
Cool. Did you bring in your downtime clocks, origin or profession? Downtime clocks
Origin,
are
definitely.
cool.
That came up.
Who's desperate for my help, and what training do I need for your clocks?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. And no trauma, right? So that would just be 2 XP?
Yeah. I mean, maybe the bodyguard profession again, with like
absolutely,
trying to protect and keeping everyone.
Cool. Yeah, that's 3 XP then. Sounds like. Mark it down.
Yep.
Cool. Nighthawk. Did you address a challenge with force or recklessness?
Probably, yeah.
Do you feel like that's 1 or 2?
Let's see. Force, recklessness was probably firing the grappling gun. I don't know that I actually used force much. I don't know how much other I did that was reckless. So I think just 1.
Okay, 1 point there. Yeah. Did you bring in your downtime clocks, origin or profession? Downtime clocks are, do you have a counterpart, and how can I get the team to trust me?
Possibly how can I get the team to trust me? Because they certainly trusted me out in the dark and didn't expose me to Caliban whenever we ran into her.
Awesome. Legacy and upper class. I would say take another one for upper class for fixing, sending down the cleanup crew and all that.
Yeah. Cleanup crew, and also trying to make the Morlock's life a little bit better.
Yeah.
Sitting down tech and all of that. Okay.
Cool. And no trauma, so sounds like 3. Awesome. No Devil Wolf. But remakes. Did you address a challenge with insight or add an interesting perspective to a scene?
I think interacting with the Morlocks, she brought in an interesting perspective of being completely unfazed by the weirdness.
Yeah.
So I think that for sure. Sure, if there's insight, perspective, I don't think there was anything else that I saw.
Cool. Did you bring in alien small business owner while we were exiled or cast out, or who do you wish was your friend?
For sure, I brought in the business owner, and
that's true.
I think when she was shifted back to Skrull, I felt like, I don't know if I brought that in, but that was definitely present in the scene.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty heavy. So
yeah. Cool. And no trauma. So that sounds like 3 across the board. Nice. And we'll do downtime next time.
Awesome.
And you can mark the XP in an attribute, not just the playbook XP.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah. So you have 1 advance and 5 XP out of 8 in the explorers. So you're gonna get another advance real quick.
I am increasing
we
prowl.
We need to look at the explorers' advances to see what
Yeah.
We do. Yep. Cool. Should I?
Awesome.
Stars and wishes.
Oh yeah, let's do stars wishes. Rich, why don't you go first?
We do stars and wishes, right? Is that how
Yeah.
we have this organized? Okay.
Yeah.
Star.
That's how I like to do
Yeah. You're the GM, so that's how we do it.
it. I'm the boss.
If you do all this work, you should at least be a boss. I really loved how fussy and pardon the phrase, but bitchy Mara was. That's just how I saw her in the comics, and it was just great. And having remakes like, but I'm trying to be nice. I'm being interested in you. That was great. I loved that. There's something really interesting about Marrow. I'm sure some people with no knowledge of the character are like, oh, she's just a Wolverine wannabe, but she's not. She to me is very unique, and I was bummed when they basically took her power set and made Spike for the X-Men Evolution. Sorry for the tangent, because I thought Marrow, I would love to see her in an animated exploration of the character. So anyway, you did a great job portraying her. Other star is bringing in Morlocks I'd never heard of. I was like, whoa, this is a whole new world. These are comics I didn't read. How cool is that? I realized that maybe I shouldn't try to just, I want to make friends with these other comic book characters. And I realize that there's something maybe not great about that in the long run, but right now I'm just love it. I love it. I really love it. Thank you for throwing Morlocks at us. And when they popped into the NPC tab, I was like, oh, this is the best. I was literally Googling Bijou Morlocks. I'm like, they have a dog? Because they have Brute and Hump, so obviously there's a dog. They had a dog, and I never knew this, but it turns out that no, Bijou's just a dog. So I don't know why.
That's just Gator's dog.
Yep, that's right. Bijou had a dog name. Yeah. Anyway, other stars. I'm not going to take them all. Probably Svava, the self-sacrifice was really cool, heroic example of who Sava is. And that was really neat. And Steve and I loved all the drones and the mapping and the intel and the just like Remix is trying to throw out big words, but Nighthawk really is super smart. And I really saw that and enjoyed it a lot. I'll take the low-hanging fruit for wishes and say I look forward to a game with all of us together actually playing, not just creating. I don't know how else it could have gone, but there was just a slight bit of like, man, it sucks that we all can't fix this and an NPC has to save our asses. But that's just, I mean, that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. And if you hang out with a bunch of comic book characters, some of the comic book characters might be NPCs who do cool stuff. So it was just a like, man, I wish I could have been effective.
Yeah.
I was really not good at things in this game session, but that's okay. Those are about it for me.
Awesome. Thank you. Steven.
I'll start with wishes. I was during the game. I wish I'd been less hesitant about traumaing out. I was very close, and at some point I was just. I think whenever I was like 3 away, I had a couple of moves left in the game, and I was like, "Oh shit, is session 3? I guess my second session too early to trauma out? Huh? Maybe I should be afraid of that. It's another way to get XP. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, but yeah. That's one wish. And that's all I can. Oh, there was something. There was something else I thought of earlier, but I've forgotten it now. Stars again. The self-sacrifice and the way that Svava was gruff with people going in, but showed how much strangers and friends and new acquaintances meant to her was a big deal. It really stood out as a character development thing to me. A very superhero moment, saved the day. I liked the I almost want to say naivete that Nero has, going to everybody and wanting to make friends. Like, I'm going to make friends with these random party people. Oh, I just met these weird people down in the sewers who are super weird. I want to make friends with them. So that's really cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. And Oddish.
Yeah. I'm more than I thought. I'm enjoying just being in the Marvel universe. It's just warm and cozy and comfortable. Even if I don't know all the characters, there are some that pop up that I'm not super familiar with. Some I'm like tangentially familiar with, but that doesn't matter because I know the general structure of the world and that sort of thing. So that's it's fun to see new aspects of it as well. I think the other stars have been taken mainly. Wishes. Not just play more.
Cool. Thanks. I had a great time. Like every time when I go in without a plan, which is every time, I'm always like nervous up front, and then immediately it's like, oh yeah, this is clearly just going to work out one way or the other, and then there's like a dozen things we can do. That was fun. I was a little bit. I think the thing that was my biggest concern, and this is more like a wish for me, was how to handle just like dungeon crawling, basically. Like there's not really like there's no like dungeon crawling moves in Blades, so like making that interesting and moving quickly through the parts that are not like, oh, you just get to where you want to go because you have a map now. You don't have to do anything, and it's not particularly dangerous right now. So that felt good. Really enjoy seeing more of everyone's characters, both like personality wise and getting to see them exercise their powers, get into a little tussle. Remix's like awesome, awkward, friendly thing. Like you're the perfect person to go into the Morlocks first. It was great. And then seeing like Mr. Fantasticing out like that was also like, oh yeah, that's a thing you can do. Cool. Now we know that. Same with Nighthawk. Like I've got the technology. I'm the Agents of Shield team guys. But also like the way you protect people and your attitude there. And the same with Spava. Like I'm one of the things is a wish for myself again is taking note of your powers and game abilities, and like because like I looked at you like, oh, I can throw level 4 harm at you and you're fine once per game. So like, oh yeah, or it's like 3 times
per session.
Yeah. So like we can like chip away at you, but like I can't just like outright kill you. So I'm like, yeah, a building falls on you and you die, except you don't. So that feels like really super heroic. So like even if you're not like and like punching down the walls, so good. And again, like getting to see that personality of like, oh, this is like I'm not just like hassling a street punk, like I'm punching down a building. Yeah, super fun to see. I like the only Morlocks I know are Caliban and Leech a little bit. All the other ones were new to me as of 3 hours ago. It's like I like don't know anything about Marrow at all. It's like, cool, she got bone powers, great, let's do that. But that all felt like it went.
That's amazing because she really okay. That's amazing. I just thought you were like, oh yeah, he's totally read the same stuff I have.
Nope.
That's good job. Good job.
Yeah, just feeling how everything fit together, it felt really good. And then like not hand waving, but wrapping up was just like, cool, yeah, the action is done. We can just epilogue and episode out. So it felt like a good flow this time, and y'all are a big part of that. Wishes, clearly want to get the whole team together and see how that goes. And yeah, I think I'm starting to get into the groove of the explorer vibe. So like just exploring more things, and as y'all go up in rank, exploring bigger and weirder things. That's really exciting for me. Yeah, and like a wish that I don't have any control over. I want to see someone get new powers, like get their crits on their power rolls, and just like start stacking up those things. Be really cool. Face more interesting challenges.
And we can buy them, right?
You can also buy them during downtown. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think those can just be whatever, not necessarily the ones that you used. So if there's something like, oh, cool, yeah, clearly this is something that would be good for me, you can buy those with XP. Awesome. I think that's all I got.
Cool.
Anything
Cool.
before we go?
No, I'm good.
Sweet. Yeah. Well, see anyone watching next time then.